let me introduce the fourth finalist, which is Mindshare and Nike from China. Please welcome Matthew Nolan, partner Mindshare China. Over to you, Matthew.
Thank you, Bruce, and happy to be here. I'm Matthew Nolan. I'm from Mindshare in China, based here in Shanghai. And today we're going to talk about a case in which we helped Nike launch their top performing running shoe, the Next Percent. And as we did so, we were able to use the speed of runners as a currency to unlock access to the product. Just to give you a bit of background here into our market, at the time that we were activating this campaign, Adidas was hot on the heels of Nike because it was leaning in to the booming lifestyle athleisure trends here in the market. But Nike is a brand that is and always will be rooted in performance athletes. So in launching this top performing shoe, what we were looking to do is how can we create a halo to really keep Nike's competitive edge here in the market. And once again, this was the top performing shoe, the Nike Next Percent. It truly is the best of the best for the best runners, these hardcore runners, particularly marathon runners. What's more, it is the most expensive shoe, running shoe from Nike. And there was, for this launch, a very limited SKU release here in the market. So there was a lot of conversation, particularly as the shoe, the Next Percent, was getting onto the feet of professional athletes who were trialing it. And there's a lot of excitement because this shoe literally can make the runner faster. So in terms of our objectives, as there was conversation building, what our job was is to inspire more conversation, accelerate that conversation to create a brand halo that would really have some uplift against Adidas here in the market. But at the same time, we wanted to physically enable these athletes with Next Percent to make the shoe a badge of fast for China's most dedicated runners. And specifically, we wanted to put this on the feet of China's most dedicated runners before anybody else. So who are these runners? We deemed them the front runners. You know, they're the head of the pack. And there were two key insights that emerged that really drove our thinking as we moved into activation. The first is that they're an extremely goal-oriented audience. 87% of our audience always knows, you know, what is the next goal they need to get through? How are they going to break their personal best? And the second is we wanted to understand more about their running behavior. And we found that they're not running with other runners. You know, their goals are personal to them. So their run partner is in fact digital. It's those vertical apps that track their progress as they move towards their next goal. Now, with these two insights, we saw a really, really fun opportunity emerge because the communication concept, consumer facing, was dare to be faster. And, you know, we saw that this is a call to action inherently, but we could really bring it to life, make it more than a call to action on a banner ad, but rather a rewarding journey towards the product, particularly for those most dedicated runners here in China. So the approach then in media was to allow runners to use their speed as a currency. As they're chasing down that next goal, that next personal best, we were able to then partner with the top running apps here in China that they prefer to use and use their data and data against their speed and their pacing behavior to unlock exclusive product access. And in doing so, we were able to put the shoes on the feet of Nike's most dedicated audience before anybody else, which was particularly critical because it is such a important shoe and there was a limited number being released here in the market. But then as we activated, there were two key implications that we needed to consider to make this journey work. And the first was actually a commercial implication. We had to work with Nike to pivot their product release strategy so that it would be only available in digital portals first, so that we could guide users to that unlock moment. What's more, in partnership with these three vertical apps that we worked with, we needed to use data to identify a pacing threshold where if you were above the threshold, you could unlock Next Percent. However, if you're still on that path to fast, we don't want to exclude you. So if you're below that pacing threshold, then we would guide those users to another product within the portfolio of running shoes that Nike has to offer. So holistically, what this journey looked like, and it was actually replicated across all three of our partner applications, which was actually quite a challenge to bring to like the same journey in different environments. But they would first open up these apps as they go for their run, get an impactful call to action that they could then click through into a discovery page where they could opt in to a data sharing program. And once again, if they, within that program, if they were above a pacing threshold, they were driven towards unlocking Next Percent with Nike. But if they were below that pacing threshold, they would then be redirected to Fastpack, a different portfolio product. And this more expansive approach really allowed us to begin to create that halo effect, both with our most dedicated runners, but with wider running communities at large. And in the end of the day, by being able to create a very meaningful journey for runners here in China, we saw significant results across the consumer funnel, whether it was this 27% increase in brand health metrics around preferred footwear against Adidas. And as well, we saw massive unique user engagements, 1.4 million plus, of which 918,000 showed product desire. But most importantly, 31,000 front runners unlocked the product and 56,000 runners unlocked Fastpack to deliver 100% sell-through. But this was a test and learn activation. We did learn some things. One was that credibility really helped us create a halo, because by putting the shoe on the most dedicated runners first, we immediately had a strong base of brand advocacy. Data, not only inform the creative, but it can inform the commercial to create a seamless connection between marketing and business. And finally, quality won over quantity, in that, front runners are generally a smaller audience, but they show that they were the most engaged. And with that, we had a lot of fun with this campaign, translating speed into currency.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much.